In the world of cinema, there's a subtle art to commanding respect without needing to flaunt it. Some actors do not seek the limelight with overwhelming drama or flashy performances, but instead make their mark through quiet power, delivering each role with understated mastery. These individuals embody a style so seamless and confident that it feels less like acting and more like living within the character. They're the kind of performers whose presence on screen demands attention without uttering a word, whose characters linger in the minds of audiences long after the credits roll. It's not about the grandiosity of their roles, it's about the integrity of their performance and the unspoken message they carry in every scene. And while they don't rush to steal the spotlight, they are the ones who own it, sometimes without even trying. These actors don't rely on spectacle or excessive emotionality to earn respect. Instead, they lean into authenticity, embodying characters so convincingly that it's hard to distinguish where the actor ends and the role begins. The performances feel so raw and real that they resonate deeply with the audience, often leaving a lasting impression. These actors know that the essence of a great performance lies in the subtleties, how a glance, a pause, or a single deliberate word can say more than any grand monologue could ever achieve. They remind us that it's not about shouting for attention, but allowing the character to speak through you. In this way, they stand apart from others. While many might chase awards, accolades, or even fame, these performers are singular in their pursuit of truth. They aren't interested in being perceived as the best, they're interested in being true to the characters they portray. Their work speaks for itself. Each line, each movement, each decision they make within the story is crafted with precision, revealing the layers of the character and often revealing something profound about the human condition itself. This is where their artistry transcends typical notions of success. The most powerful performances aren't those that demand immediate praise, but those that slowly seep into the consciousness of the viewer, leaving them with questions, reflections, or even a sense of awe long after the film ends. The impact of such performances isn't felt in the moment, but in the quiet aftermath, when the viewer is left to think, to digest, to process what they've just witnessed. The depth of the portrayal emerges in how the character is allowed to evolve, even if only in the most subtle of ways. And yet, despite their power, these actors do not overwhelm their surroundings. They don't dominate the narrative. Instead, they become an integral part of the story, helping to shape its emotional landscape without overshadowing the other elements. This balance between presence and restraint is perhaps one of the most difficult feats an actor can achieve. It's an art that requires a deep understanding of the material and an even deeper understanding of oneself. For these actors, it's not about proving something. They've already proven their worth through years of steady, consistent work. One of the most striking elements of their craft is how effortlessly they slide into diverse roles. There's no typecasting, no pigeonholing them into a specific genre or character trait. Whether they're playing a stoic leader, a tormented soul, or a quiet observer, they manage to find a way to make each character uniquely theirs. Their versatility is a testament to their skill, but it's also a reflection of their fearlessness as performers. They are willing to take on roles that challenge them, roles that might not seem like an obvious fit, but they embrace the opportunity to push their boundaries and redefine what they are capable of. The true brilliance of these performers lies in how they handle the subtleties of human emotion. Where others might overdo it, they underplay. Where others might give in to sentimentality, they remain grounded. They know that the most powerful emotions often come from the smallest gestures, the smallest moments. The way a character contemplates a decision, the way they navigate a moral dilemma, or the way they interact with those around them, all these nuances are where the real drama lies. And it's here that these actors shine the brightest. They have a gift for making you feel the weight of their emotions without needing to scream or cry to convey it. You understand their pain, their joy, their sorrow, because you see it in the subtle shifts of their body language, the flicker of their eyes, the way they breathe. This focus on restraint and subtlety isn't just an acting choice, it's a philosophical approach to storytelling itself. For these performers, acting is about more than delivering lines or fulfilling a plot. It's about capturing the essence of the human experience in all its complexities. It's about reflecting the internal struggles and triumphs that make up the fabric of life. They understand that a single quiet moment can hold more weight than an entire speech delivered with bombastic emotion. They understand that sometimes silence is the most powerful language. Of course, it's not always easy to pull this off. The danger of subtlety is that it can be easily overlooked, misunderstood, or underappreciated. In a world where instant gratification and dramatic spectacle often take precedence, it's easy for quieter performances to be overshadowed by louder, flashier ones, but this is where these actors shine even brighter. They're not performing for the applause or the recognition they're performing because they believe in the story they're telling. They're committed to the craft for the sake of the craft itself, not for the rewards that might come with it. In a culture obsessed with fame, these actors are a reminder that true artistry is not about seeking attention, but about earning respect through the authenticity of one's work. They don't need to be in the headlines or the center of every conversation to know their worth. Their value is measured in the quality of their work and the impact they have on the people who see it. They don't play to the crowd, they play to the crowd, they play to the truth of the character they're embodying. And yet, despite their commitment to authenticity, there's also an undeniable charisma about these performers. It's not the kind of charisma that demands attention, it's the kind that draws you in without you even realizing it. There's a quiet magnetism in the way they inhabit a role. It's the kind of presence that makes you want to pay attention, makes you want to lean in and listen to every word, to watch every movement. They don't command the screen, they invite you into their world, and once you're there, you're captivated. It's the kind of charisma that's earned, not manufactured. It's a reflection of their deep understanding of the craft and the characters they portray. In many ways, their work is a reminder that the best performances are not about what's said, but what's felt. The best actors aren't the ones who shout the loudest or make the biggest gestures, they're the ones who understand that less is more. The ones who understand that the heart of a story doesn't always need to be broadcast with great fanfare sometimes. It's the quiet, intimate moments that reveal the deepest truths. The performers who truly understand this principle are the ones who are able to transcend the role and make it something more than just a performance. They make it real. They make it unforgettable. What's even more remarkable about these actors is their ability to stay grounded in the face of immense success. In a business that thrives on novelty, fame, and the constant pursuit of the next big thing, they remain steadfast in their commitment to their craft. They don't chase the latest trends or jump on the bandwagon of whatever is popular at the moment. They stay true to their principles and the types of roles that resonate with them. This commitment to staying true to themselves is something that sets them apart. They don't need to reinvent themselves with every project, they simply need to continue doing the work that speaks to them and to the audiences who appreciate their unique style. This is not to say that these actors are without their flaws. They are not infallible. Like all artists, they have their missteps and moments of doubt. But what makes their work so compelling is how they embrace those imperfections. They don't shy away from portraying flawed characters. In fact, they often excel when given the opportunity to play people who are far from perfect. It's in these moments of vulnerability, of human imperfection, that they truly connect with the audience. They remind us that it's okay to be imperfect, that it's okay to struggle, and that sometimes it's the very flaws that make a character and a performance so compelling. In the end, these actors don't need to be celebrated in grandiose ways. They don't need the constant affirmation of public accolades or the endless spotlight. They know that their work speaks for itself, and that the true measure of their success lies not in awards, but in the lasting impact they leave on those who watch their performances. Their legacy is built not on fame or recognition, but on the quiet, profound moments they've shared with audiences over the years. These moments, though fleeting, become etched in the memories of those who have witnessed them. And in this way, their influence extends far beyond the confines of any film or television show. Their artistry lies in the ability to make us feel something, to make us reflect on our own lives and experiences, and to challenge our understanding of the world around us. They remind us that the power of storytelling lies not in the loudest voices, but in the quietest moments, and that sometimes the best performances are the ones that ask us to listen more closely. These actors, with their deep commitment to truth and their mastery of subtlety, offer us not just entertainment, but a window into the complexity of the human soul. And in doing so, they achieve something far greater than fame. They achieve a kind of timelessness, a resonance that lingers long after the final scene. True mastery in acting lies in the ability to command attention without overwhelming the audience. Performers who embrace restraint, allowing characters to evolve naturally, create a profound impact through quiet authenticity rather than overt spectacle. The most compelling actors prioritize being true to their characters in the story rather than chasing fame or accolades. Their worth is measured by the integrity of their performances and their commitment to the craft, not by the rewards they receive. The power of great performances often lies in the smallest, most subtle moments. A glance, a pause, or a simple gesture can communicate deeper truths than any dramatic outburst, resonating with audiences long after the performance is over. Actors who focus on consistent, authentic work leave a lasting legacy, not through awards or constant attention, but through their ability to create meaningful, timeless performances that continue to resonate with viewers over time. In the realm of acting, there is a distinct power and subtlety that often goes unnoticed in the louder, more dramatic performances that demand immediate attention. The greatest performances aren't always those that shout the loudest, but those that quietly speak the loudest, lingering with the audience long after the curtain falls or the credits roll. This is the beauty of subtle power in performance, a kind of mastery where the performer doesn't try to dominate or overstate the character, but instead becomes one with the role in such a way that the audience is effortlessly drawn into the world being created. It is the act of holding back just enough to allow the character to come to life organically, instead of imposing an emotional arc onto the narrative. Subtlety in performance can be difficult to grasp. It often requires an immense understanding of the material, a deep emotional intelligence, and the patience to allow a character to develop naturally. It is about finding the balance between external action and internal truth. Many actors focus on delivering their lines with grand emotion, drawing attention to themselves in an obvious way. But the true power of performance lies in understanding that sometimes the most meaningful moments are those where the character says little or does little, yet conveys everything. The actor's craft is not just about memorizing lines or executing choreography, it is about becoming a vessel for the character's soul. In moments of subtlety, the audience can sense that something is happening beneath the surface. It's as if the actor is sharing a private moment with the audience, allowing them a glimpse into a deeper emotional landscape that isn't immediately obvious. This deep undercurrent of emotion is what makes subtle performances so powerful. The audience knows that something is going on, even if it is not being stated explicitly, and that sense of mystery and complexity draws them in. This subtle power is also rooted in restraint. In many ways, it is the ability to hold back emotions until the exact moment when they are needed, rather than overwhelming the character with constant displays of passion or sorrow. The restrained actor understands that the impact of a performance is often most effective when it's built over time, slowly, with each moment adding another layer of meaning. It's not about building to a single climactic scene or reaching a peak of emotion, but about allowing the character to evolve in a manner that feels organic and real. The actor must remain in control of the pacing of their emotions, knowing when to dial it up and when to hold back, making the moments of emotional release feel all the more impactful because they have been carefully built up and earned. One of the most important aspects of subtle power in performance is silence. Silence has a profound impact in the context of storytelling, and when used effectively, it can communicate more than any spoken word ever could. The actor who understands the value of silence knows that sometimes the most powerful moments are those where the character is not speaking at all. It's the lingering pause before a decision is made, the quiet moment of reflection when the weight of an event begins to sink in. These moments allow the audience to feel the emotional intensity without the need for the character to verbalize it. The silence itself becomes the emotional language, and in these instances, the actor's ability to convey meaning through stillness becomes one of the most compelling aspects of the performance. The other crucial component of subtlety is timing. Timing is essential in knowing when to hold back and when to release, and when done well, it enhances the emotional impact of a scene. An actor who knows how to use timing effectively will leave the audience hanging on every word, every movement, because they have mastered the rhythm of the scene. They know that a delayed reaction, a pause in speech, or a breath taken at just the right moment can speak volumes about the character's emotional state. Great performances are often defined by these tiny moments of timing that shift the energy of the scene in a way that is barely noticeable but ultimately unforgettable. Another reason subtle performances resonate so deeply is that they allow the audience to become more engaged in the storytelling. When an actor chooses restraint over excess, they create a space for the viewer to fill in the gaps, to read between the lines and engage with the character on a deeper level. The audience is invited to step into the emotional world of the character, interpreting their actions and reactions based on the nuances they observe. In this way, the performance becomes a collaboration between actor and viewer, with the audience playing an active role in understanding the layers of the character. It's not just about watching the actor, it's about feeling and interpreting what the actor is giving without being told everything outright. The most skilled performers understand that emotions are often complex and multifaceted. Life itself is not neatly packaged with clear-cut emotions or obvious expressions of feeling, and neither should performance be. Subtle performances mirror the complexities of human experience, showcasing the layers of emotion and thought that we all carry within us. In real life, people rarely articulate every feeling they have. They may hold back parts of themselves, conceal their pain, or hide their true feelings in order to maintain composure. This is the essence of subtlety in performance, capturing the complexity of a human being through the layers of unsaid words, unshed tears, and unspoken truths. The audience can feel this complexity and recognize its authenticity, which creates a connection between the actor and the viewer that is profound and meaningful. In addition to this, subtlety in performance allows for the exploration of the unspoken aspects of a character's journey. The best actors are able to show us the internal struggles of a character without verbalizing every conflict. We see the character's evolution in the way they hold themselves, the way their eyes shift, the way their posture changes. These physical manifestations of a character's emotional journey are often far more telling than any dialogue could be. By focusing on the small details, the shift in a character's stance, a fleeting look exchanged with another character, a subtle change in their tone of voice, the actor reveals far more than words alone could ever do. It's the careful observation of these minute details that makes subtle performances so rich and compelling. Every movement, every flicker of emotion feels intentional and loaded with meaning, and it's in these moments that the character truly comes to life. Moreover, subtlety in performance is often what separates the good from the great. It's easy to impress an audience with showy moments, dramatic speeches, and emotional outbursts, but it takes a true artist to captivate with moments of stillness, silence, and subtlety. The actor who can hold back, who doesn't rush to the emotional high point, is the one who demonstrates a deeper understanding of the character they are portraying. They recognize that the most powerful moments are often those that are not rushed or forced. They trust the material and the audience enough to allow things to unfold at their own pace, creating a sense of tension and anticipation that makes each moment feel earned. The power of subtlety is also rooted in the way it can transform a scene or a film. A character who is portrayed with subtlety can become a mirror for the audience's own experiences, reflecting a wide range of emotions, thoughts, and feelings that may not be overtly stated. It's in these moments of quiet resonance that the character's true depth is revealed, and the story becomes more than just a narrative. It becomes a reflection of life itself, unpredictable, complex, and full of nuance. By choosing to portray a character with subtlety, the actor invites the audience to look deeper, to see beyond the surface, and to experience something truly meaningful. There is an undeniable elegance in the subtle performances that are often overshadowed by their louder counterparts. The elegance lies in the ability to tell a story not through words, but through presence, through nuance, through the spaces between the words. The actor who understands the power of silence, of stillness, of restraint, is the one who can evoke the most profound emotions in the audience, even without speaking a word. It is in this delicate balance of action and inaction that the greatest performances are found. The true test of an actor's skill lies not in how well they can convey emotion with intensity, but in how well they can convey it with restraint. And when this is done effectively, it's nothing short of magical. At its core, subtlety in performance is an expression of confidence. It takes great skill and self-assurance to hold back, to allow the character to breathe without forcing emotion. The actor who masters this technique is not only trusting the material, but also trusting the audience to connect with the performance on a deeper level. They understand that ultimately it is the quiet moments that have the power to leave the longest lasting impression. It is in those small, often overlooked details that the heart of the story is found. And it is through these moments that the actor communicates the most profound truths about the human experience. In the entertainment industry, where fame is often sought as the ultimate prize and recognition is seen as a marker of success, there exists a small group of actors who measure their worth not by the applause they receive or the accolades they accumulate, but by the authenticity they bring to their craft. These actors are not interested in chasing fame or validation from the outside world. Instead, they are driven by a deeper purpose to tell a truthful story and embody a character with such commitment and sincerity that the performance transcends the material itself. For them, recognition is not a goal, it is a byproduct of the work itself. Their motivation lies not in being celebrated, but in honoring the characters they portray and the stories they tell. Authenticity in performance is something that goes beyond simply being real or natural. It is an embodiment of truth, where the actor sheds all pretense and becomes the character in a way that feels entirely genuine. This kind of authenticity requires deep introspection, a connection to the emotional core of the role, and a commitment to portraying the human experience with all its complexity. Rather than focusing on external rewards or the pursuit of a particular image, these actors are more interested in the purity of their craft. Their dedication is to the truth of the character and the story, not to how they are perceived in the public eye. This kind of authenticity is not always the easiest path to take. In an industry that thrives on visibility, an actor who is not concerned with recognition or fame can often be overlooked. There is a pressure to be constantly in the spotlight, to be associated with blockbuster films, to be on the cover of magazines or trending on social media. But for those who prioritize authenticity over recognition, this pressure holds little appeal. They are not seeking the validation of others, but instead are focused on doing the work that resonates deeply within them. They choose roles that challenge them, that push them out of their comfort zones, that allow them to explore the depths of the human condition. In doing so, they often create performances that are layered, complex, and profoundly moving. One of the hallmarks of an authentic performance is its ability to make the audience believe in the character, to feel the truth of that character's experiences. It's easy to recognize when an actor is playing a role for the sake of playing it, but it is far more powerful when the actor seems to be living the role. This is the essence of authenticity in acting, when the lines between the actor and the character blur to the point where the audience no longer sees the actor, they only see the character. The emotions, thoughts, and struggles of the character become so genuine and heartfelt that the performance feels like an intimate glimpse into someone's life. For actors who prioritize authenticity over recognition, the focus is never on delivering a showy performance or stealing the scene. Rather, they aim to honor the essence of the character they are portraying. They approach each role with humility and respect, recognizing that the story they are telling is bigger than their own ego or personal fame. They are not interested in making a name for themselves at the expense of the character's truth. Instead, they strive to ensure that the character's journey is told with integrity and depth. This dedication to authenticity allows them to bring nuance to every performance, capturing the complexities and contradictions of the human experience in a way that feels profoundly real. It is also important to note that authenticity is not synonymous with simplicity. Sometimes the most authentic performances are those that require an actor to explore the darkest corners of the human psyche, to confront uncomfortable truths about the character or about life itself. Authenticity does not mean playing it safe, it means being willing to go to places emotionally, physically, psychologically that may be challenging or even painful. Actors who choose authenticity over recognition are often willing to take on roles that require vulnerability and emotional honesty, roles that others may shy away from because they fear the vulnerability might not be rewarded with external accolades. But for these actors, the act of being vulnerable is what makes the performance so powerful. It is in these moments of emotional exposure that the audience connects most deeply with the character. Moreover, actors who prioritize authenticity over recognition understand that their performances do not exist in isolation. They know that acting is a collaborative process and that their role within the larger narrative is integral to the success of the film or play. Authenticity is not just about what the actor brings to the table, but how they respond to the other elements of the story, the director's vision, the script, the other actors. These actors don't perform for the camera, they perform for the story, for the world that is being created around them. They are not preoccupied with their own screen time or the amount of attention they receive. Instead, they focus on contributing to the narrative in a way that feels true to the character's arc, even if it means taking a back seat to other elements of the production. For actors who prioritize authenticity over recognition, there is an understanding that the value of their work is not determined by the external rewards they receive. This is not to say that recognition is unimportant, but it is not the driving force behind their commitment to the craft. These actors recognize that their worth is not measured by the number of awards they win or the number of fans they accumulate. Their worth is measured by their ability to inhabit a role with truthfulness and sincerity. When they step into a character, they do so not for personal gain, but because they believe in the story and the message that character carries. Their reward is not in the form of trophies or praise, it is in the quiet satisfaction of knowing they have done justice to the character and the story they are telling. An important aspect of authenticity is the ability to let go of ego. In an industry where actors are often judged by their public image, their popularity, and their ability to generate buzz, it can be easy for ego to take center stage. However, those who value authenticity over recognition understand that their personal image or status is secondary to the work itself. They know that acting is not about showcasing their talents for applause, but about disappearing into the character and becoming a vehicle for the story. This requires a level of selflessness and humility that is rare in an industry that thrives on personal branding. Authentic actors do not seek to be praised for their individual accomplishments, but instead let their work speak for itself. They are comfortable with being part of a larger ensemble, understanding that the success of the project depends on the collective efforts of everyone involved. This approach to acting also requires a level of vulnerability that many actors shy away from. When recognition becomes the goal, it's easy to fall into the trap of playing to the audience or trying to craft a performance that will be widely appreciated. But when authenticity is the priority, the actor must be willing to take risks, to embrace the uncomfortable, and to reveal aspects of themselves and their characters that may be difficult or confronting. This kind of vulnerability is not about seeking sympathy or admiration, it is about offering the audience a glimpse into the raw, unfiltered emotions of the character. It is through this vulnerability that the most authentic and transformative performances are often born. The actor must be willing to put aside the desire for external validation and focus solely on the internal truth of the character. There is a certain kind of grace that comes with choosing authenticity over recognition. The actor who is not concerned with the accolades they might receive has the freedom to take on roles that others may deem risky or challenging. They can tackle difficult subject matter or portray flawed characters without fear of judgment. They can experiment with their craft, take risks, and evolve as performers without the pressure of needing to be constantly applauded or acknowledged. This freedom allows them to make choices that feel true to the character and to the story, without worrying about how those choices will be received by critics or the public. Their focus is on doing justice to the character, not on ensuring that their performance is universally praised. In many ways, authenticity over recognition represents a shift in priorities. It is a mindset that values the depth of the work over the surface-level rewards that often accompany fame and success. For those who embody this philosophy, acting is not a career to be used as a stepping stone to greater fame or fortune. It is a lifelong commitment to understanding and exploring the human experience through the lens of different characters. These actors are not driven by a desire to be recognized. They are driven by a passion for storytelling and the belief that authenticity in performance has the power to move and inspire people in a way that nothing else can. By prioritizing authenticity, these actors find their true rewards in the work itself. Their most meaningful success comes from knowing that they have poured their heart and soul into a role, that they have told the story with honesty and integrity, and that their performance has touched the hearts of those who experience it. Recognition may come, but it is secondary to the fulfillment they find in creating something true. And for those who live by this principle, that fulfillment is enough. The art of performance is often celebrated for its grand moments, those powerful speeches, intense confrontations, or overwhelming emotional outbursts that leave the audience breathless. However, there is an equally powerful, though often overlooked, form of acting that operates in the realm of nuance. The true impact of a performance doesn't always come from the loudest or most dramatic moments. Rather, it is often embedded in the subtle gestures, the quiet shifts in emotion, the imperceptible changes in a character's demeanor. These small, nuanced moments, when woven together with skill and care, can create a far deeper and more resonant impact than any single overt performance. Nuance in acting is the ability to convey complexity through simplicity. It's about understanding that emotions are not monolithic and that people don't react to situations in extreme, unambiguous ways. It's the recognition that real life often exists in the gray areas between right and wrong, joy and sorrow, certainty and doubt. A nuanced performance is one that captures this complexity, making it not only believable but profoundly moving. These performances speak to the audience on a deeper level, tapping into emotions and ideas that are universally understood, but rarely expressed so clearly. What makes nuance so impactful is that it reflects the true nature of human experience. People are multifaceted beings, capable of experiencing a wide range of emotions simultaneously. They are not one-dimensional, and neither should characters be. A nuanced actor understands that a character's journey is rarely a straight line, and that the best performances mirror this complexity. A single moment can shift in meaning depending on the internal conflict the character is experiencing or on the relationship they have with the other people in the scene. These subtle changes, often invisible to the casual observer, are what give a character depth and life. It's not just about what is said, but what isn't said. Silence can be just as telling as dialogue, and sometimes even more so. A raised eyebrow, a slight twitch of the hand, or the way a character holds themselves in a moment of emotional turmoil can speak volumes. These are the moments where the actor must trust their instincts and have faith that the audience will pick up on the subtle cues. A great actor knows when to hold back, to let the audience feel the weight of a situation without explaining it outright. In these moments, the unspoken becomes as important, if not more so, than the spoken. One of the most powerful aspects of nuance in performance is its ability to invite the audience into the emotional world of the character without forcing them to see everything. A performance that is too overt can alienate the viewer, making them feel as though they are being told what to feel. On the other hand, a nuanced performance invites the audience to engage their own emotions and make their own connections. The subtlety of the character's internal struggle allows the audience to empathize, without feeling as though their emotional response is being dictated. There is an intimacy in this approach, a quiet invitation to experience the character's world from within, rather than from a distance. The most compelling performances often require an actor to embody a character's contradictions. Human beings are inherently complex, and the best performances reflect this complexity. A character may say one thing, but their actions may betray a different emotion entirely. This is where nuance plays a key role in building the character's authenticity. For instance, a character may tell another that they are fine, but their body language, shifting eyes, tense posture, a forced smile betrays the truth of their emotions. These moments, subtle as they may be, carry the weight of the character's true experience. The actor's ability to convey these contradictions in a way that feels natural is what elevates a performance from good to great. Nuance also allows for the gradual development of a character over time. A truly nuanced performance doesn't simply show us a character's emotions, it allows us to feel them. It provides us with the space to reflect on our own experiences, to make connections between what we see on screen or stage and what we have felt in our own lives. This kind of impact is not immediate or flashy, it's a slow burn that builds over time. The audience doesn't necessarily recognize it in the moment, but it lingers with them long after the performance has ended. It's the kind of impact that causes them to think, to reflect, to revisit the work and discover new layers with each viewing. Nuance also creates room for interpretation. A performance that relies on nuance often leaves more to the imagination of the audience. It doesn't tie up every loose end or explain every emotional shift in detail. Instead, it provides just enough information for the viewer to form their own conclusions about the character and their journey. This openness allows for a richer, more engaging experience. Audiences are invited to bring their own emotions, their own experiences, and their own perspectives to the work. This creates a more personal connection to the material, as each viewer may take something different from the same performance, depending on their own unique perspective. The impact of nuance can also be seen in the way it allows an actor to convey a character's inner life. Characters are rarely as simple as their outward appearances suggest. They have internal conflicts, contradictions, and struggles that may never be fully articulated in dialogue. A nuanced performance allows the actor to show these layers without explicitly stating them. Instead of telling the audience how a character feels, the actor shows them through subtle changes in behavior, tone, and expression. The character's thoughts and emotions may be hidden beneath the surface, but they are always there, subtly informing the character's actions and reactions. It is this depth that makes the character feel real and relatable. And it is this depth that allows the performance to resonate long after the character has left the stage or screen. In many ways, nuance is what allows a performance to transcend the material. A character who is played with nuance is more than just a fictional creation, they become a reflection of the audience's own humanity. Their struggles, joys, and contradictions resonate because they reflect something universal in the human experience. It is this universal connection that gives a performance its lasting power. It's not just the plot or the dialogue that makes the story memorable. It's the way the actor inhabits the character, bringing depth, complexity, and truth to every moment. The nuances of their performance are what make the character feel real, and it is through this authenticity that the audience is moved. The impact of a nuanced performance is not always immediately apparent, but over time it becomes clear. It is the kind of performance that stays with you, that lingers in your thoughts long after the curtain falls or the screen goes dark. It is a performance that, despite its quiet moments and understated gestures, leaves an indelible mark. In the world of acting, it is often the smallest, most delicate moments that have the greatest impact. It is these moments of nuance that elevate a performance from good to great, from forgettable to unforgettable. They are the heart of a truly powerful performance. In a world where the rush to fame and fortune often becomes the driving force for many, there exists a quieter, more enduring path, a journey where the focus shifts from the immediate thrill of recognition to the lasting impact that transcends fleeting trends and superficial success. The notion of longevity beyond fame is one that speaks to the deeper, more sustainable form of achievement. It is a commitment to a career, a craft, and a legacy that endures long after the spotlight fades. For those who pursue this path, fame is not the goal but a temporary byproduct of their passion, while their true reward lies in the timeless influence they leave behind. This kind of longevity is not built on the loud, attention-grabbing moments of fame, but on the consistent, authentic work that continues to resonate with generations to come. Longevity in any field, particularly in the entertainment industry, requires more than just talent. It requires a dedication to growth, a willingness to evolve, and the ability to connect with audiences on a deep emotional level. It is not enough to simply be in the public eye for a brief moment. The true challenge is to remain relevant and impactful as time passes, while the world around you changes. For those who prioritize longevity, this requires a focus on what is lasting, be it through evolving with the times, staying true to one's artistic values, or simply continuing to find new ways to express oneself and connect with the world. One of the key elements of longevity beyond fame is the willingness to evolve. In the entertainment world, trends come and go, and what is celebrated one year may quickly fade into obscurity the next. Those who achieve lasting success are the ones who are not tethered to a single moment or style. They have the foresight to adapt to changing times without losing the essence of what makes them unique. They don't cling to past successes or try to replicate previous formulas. Instead, they embrace change, viewing it as an opportunity for growth rather than a threat to their relevance. By evolving, they remain fresh and interesting, continuously offering new perspectives and engaging with new audiences. But evolution doesn't necessarily mean abandoning one's roots or compromising artistic integrity. Those who achieve longevity beyond fame often find a way to balance evolution with staying true to themselves. They recognize that, while it is important to stay relevant, it is equally important to remain authentic. Their ability to evolve is rooted in a deep understanding of their own voice, values, and purpose. They don't chase trends for the sake of relevance. Instead, they find ways to integrate new ideas, new influences, or new mediums into their work without losing sight of what made their craft meaningful in the first place. Part of what allows someone to sustain longevity beyond fame is the way they handle success in the first place. Fame, as intoxicating as it may be, is fleeting. It comes in waves, and often when it is least expected. Some actors, musicians, and artists experience rapid rises to fame, but those who achieve lasting success are often the ones who don't let that fame define them. They know that fame is not the end goal, but rather a momentary consequence of doing meaningful work. Instead of chasing the next hit or trying to maintain a constant presence in the public eye, they focus on creating work that matters to them. They may step away from the limelight at times, but this only serves to enhance their mystique and remind people of the value they bring to their craft. In many ways, their absence can be just as powerful as their presence, creating a sense of anticipation and intrigue that keeps their legacy alive. One of the most striking aspects of longevity beyond fame is its ability to impact future generations. Artists who focus on the long-term effect of their work are not concerned with immediate validation. They understand that the true value of their contributions lies in their ability to inspire and shape the future. Rather than crafting work that seeks to please the current generation or respond to the latest trends, they create with a sense of timelessness and understanding that their work will outlast them, influencing others for years to come. This kind of impact requires a vision that goes beyond the self, recognizing that what they do today has the potential to inspire not just the present moment, but future generations of artists, creators, and audiences. Longevity beyond fame is also tied to an artist's resilience. It's the ability to withstand the inevitable ups and downs that come with any career, especially in industries that thrive on public attention. Fame can be fragile, and the pursuit of it can be exhausting. But those who achieve lasting success know how to weather the storms and continue to pursue their work with integrity. This resilience often stems from a deep love and passion for the craft, rather than the need for external validation. Those who have longevity understand that their worth is not tied to the number of accolades they receive or the amount of media attention they garner. Instead, their worth comes from within, from the satisfaction of doing meaningful work, from the joy of creative expression, and from the knowledge that they have left something of lasting value behind. The ability to connect with an audience is another vital component of longevity. While fame may come from being in the right place at the right time, lasting success is built on the foundation of genuine connection. People are drawn to authenticity, and artists who focus on creating meaningful, relatable work will always find a place in the hearts of their audience. This connection is not based on superficial popularity, but on the depth of emotion, the universality of the themes they explore, and the way their work resonates with the personal experiences of those who encounter it. Longevity is about building a relationship with the audience that endures beyond passing trends and fleeting moments. It's about creating something that people can return to again and again, finding new layers of meaning with each encounter. At the heart of longevity beyond fame is the understanding that a career is not a sprint, but a marathon. It requires patience, dedication, and a long-term vision. While many are consumed by the pursuit of instant success, those who focus on lasting impact understand that it takes time to build something of real significance. They are willing to put in the work, not for the sake of immediate rewards, but because they are committed to the process, to their craft, and to the creation of work that will outlive them. This long-term approach is what separates those who are flash-in-the-pan successes from those whose impact lasts for generations. The pursuit of longevity beyond fame is also about creating a legacy that is meaningful and impactful. For those who achieve this kind of success, the work they leave behind is not just about their own career, but about the larger cultural conversation they have contributed to. It's about knowing that the stories they told, the art they created, and the messages they communicated will continue to influence society long after their time in the public eye has passed. This sense of purpose and mission gives their work a sense of timelessness, ensuring that their legacy is not defined by the momentary highs of fame, but by the lasting influence they have had on culture and society. In the end, longevity beyond fame is not about avoiding the spotlight or shunning recognition. Rather, it is about understanding that true success is not measured in the transient moments of fame, but in the enduring impact that lasts far beyond them. It is about creating work that speaks to the hearts and minds of people across generations, work that continues to inspire, challenge, and resonate long after the applause has died down. Fame may bring attention, but it is the depth of an artist's work, the authenticity of their vision, and the impact of their contributions that create a legacy that lasts. And in the end, it is this kind of longevity, this quiet, lasting influence that holds the true power and value.